Penny, welcome back to my channel. Hope you're all doing really well. I'm doing a little morning skincare routine while talking about my fibro and my gastric bypass, because people have requested that I talk about this and tell you some about it. So yeah, I thought I would combine the two, give me something to do while I'm talking about it. So first off, I'm using this toner at the moment. I got this in the Sephora advent calendar last year, and I'm just using it to use it up. It's nice, but I wouldn't buy it. It's too expensive. And if I was going to buy a toner from Elemis, I'd get the ginseng one. That's the one I really like. But yeah, it's nice. Use it up. So yeah, I just spray that. And then I go in with my hyperpigmentation serum. Yeah, so fibro. What to say, I was diagnosed in 2017. I'd been having a lot of problems with my back, my neck, and sort of down my chest, and it's all in the top. So my shoulders, my neck, my upper chest and my upper back. I went to a doctor. At the local hospital, and he first diagnosed me with a condition called costochondritis, which is where your ribs, you've got all your, like, the ligaments and tendons and everything in your ribs are all inflamed. And so I had cortisone shots. I had to be knocked out because I had, I think it was 18 in my back and 14 in my front. I had to do it twice. So I did back first and then front. And that helped. That helped with that. That, touch wood, hasn't come back, thank God. But I was still having problems with my arms and my neck and my shoulders. And he did some other tests and things like that. And that's when he diagnosed me with fibro. And apparently I have it quite pronounced. I was also having, Max is over here, being nosy and all my stuff. But hopefully he'll disappear in a minute. But yeah, so he diagnosed me with fibro, and I was put on a drug called pregabalin. Now, I don't know if anyone knows about pregabalin, but one of the serious side effects is, A, it increases your appetite, and B, it causes significant weight gain as well as increasing your appetite. So even if you don't eat more, you still gain weight, which is why I then started to gain a lot of weight. It didn't help that I was also going through menopause and put on a tablet for HRT that I didn't know at the time also causes weight gain. So it was like a double whammy, and I'm already predisposed to put on weight easily. So triple whammy. So yeah, I started gaining a lot of weight, and it didn't matter what I did. I couldn't stop it coming on. It was just continuous. And yeah, I was sent for things like physio and cognitive behavioural therapy and all that. Nothing was helping me. I was just in pain all the time, and it was just getting harder and harder to move. And yeah, I was just getting so low with it all, really low. And then they realised that the pregabalin was causing weight gain. So I got taken off of that, and I was put on a drug called duloxetine, which I'm still on today. And that is really good. That is a really good drug it has really helped my fibro. It has helped some people, others it hasn't. Fibro is very much a person by person illness. There is, what works for one won't necessarily work for another, that kind of thing. So, but that does seem to be working for me. My back and legs became affected really badly, and that's when I ended up needing to start using a wheelchair. I can walk. I say to I can walk. I can potter about my house, and on a really good day I can do a little bit, but it's like I can walk somewhere, but what I can't do is get back again, if you know what I mean. So it's hard to explain. I can walk around a small little shop, but if I get to the other side of it, I won't be able to get back. So that's why I need the wheelchair, because I just can't do everything that I need to do to be able to get about. Yeah, and when I say, you know, it is minimal. It is minimal. I can't take opiate or morphine for any of it because I'm allergic to morphine. They've discovered that. And not just, you know, rash or whatever. It affects my breathing, my blood pressure and all that. They discovered that when I was having some of my surgeries that, yeah, I'm actually allergic to it. So I can't take anything that's got morphine in it, which is handy because I don't really want to go down that road. Opioids are addictive, and I'll be honest, I'm not even convinced that they help. I've taken them in the past and I've not really felt any relief from them. They just make me feel... Morphine doesn't make me drowsy like it does some people. It makes me high as a kite. So while my breathing is suppressed, my blood pressure is suppressed, my heart rate is suppressed, my brain is going 10 to the dozen and I can't shut it down. I can't sleep at all. It will keep me awake for days. So, yeah, it's just not a good one for me at all. Anyway, because of it all, I was put forward for gastric bypass. I'm just going to carry on here. This is the Dr. Kraft Antioxidant Rescue Serum. I don't know what this does, whether it's any good. I'm just using up what I've got in my stash before I stock it all up again with all the advent calendars that are coming out. I've got a couple more coming, but then that'll be it, really. I can't afford to buy them anymore. But yeah, anyway, so yeah, that, where did I get to? Yeah, they would put me forward for, they decided that it would be good for me to be put forward for weight loss surgery. So I started the way ahead before lockdown in 2019. Sorry about that, got a phone call. Yeah, I started the way ahead in 2019 and went through the program. Unfortunately, because of my mobility issues and because of well, just I wasn't able to move at all. I was large. I was 146 kilos. So, which is about 22 and a half, 23 stone, something like that. And I'm only 5 foot, not quite 5 foot. So I was massive and I could hardly move. So losing weight was hard. But I got my goal and I got put forward for the surgery. Max is being a pain behind. That's what I'm looking at. Stop it. Stop it. Yeah, I made him jump, but he's all right. But yeah, anyway, so yeah, I went on that and I got put forward for surgery and then lockdown happened. And so it was put off and put off. And I had a few phone calls through lockdown with them, but other than that, the program got postponed or stopped for a while. And then it didn't start back up again until January 2021. I started getting phone calls about it, and then in May, yeah, it was May 2021, I had to go to Portsmouth Hospital because that's where I had it done, and do a surgical, like go round all the surgeons and everything and meet the surgeon and the anaesthetist and the counsellors and all that to make sure that it was still what I wanted and all that kind of thing. So I did all that. And then I was then told to go home and wait. Finally, in October, I got a date for my surgery, which was the 16th of November. And I had to start the liver reduction diet on the 2nd of November. And that involved milk. 4 pints of semi-skim milk a day. An OXO cube mixed with water. And then you could have as much water or sugar-free drinks as you wanted, but no food. You weren't allowed any food. And I could have sugar-free crusher. and I liked the chocolate one. So I used to make my milk with sugar-free crusher, and I used to have my lattes, and I used to 3 times a day I'd have a milkshake and a latte as meals, and then once a day I would have my OXO cube, and that would be my dinner. But I did really well on it, and then 2 days before the 6th, so on the 14th of November, my surgery got cancelled. So I was gutted. Obviously, I'd been doing the liver reduction diet for nearly the whole 2 weeks, and I just got told it was cancelled. So I never quite came off the liver reduction diet after that. I stayed on the 4 pints of milk a day, and I still had the OXO cube. But I just had 1 meal a day, and it was usually like an omelette or sort of beans on toast, or just something light but high protein. That's what I did throughout the next few months, because I got my second date on the 16th of December. And again, on the 2nd of December, I started the diet, and I went a week that time before they cancelled it. On this, just a week before my surgery, they cancelled it. So then I went all over Christmas. I never got another date, and finally I got a date of the 22nd of March, and I'd done quite well. I'd not gained any weight. I'd lost weight because I'd stayed predominantly on the liver reduction diet. Don't ever recommend anyone does that. Don't do that. I was just terrified that I'd gain weight and they'd cancel my surgery. I was having 1 meal a day, and I did take time off of it over Christmas and have food. But yeah, when I went for my actual surgery, I'd lost quite a bit of weight. I can't remember exactly how much I weighed then, but I'd lost quite a bit. So I was all right. And then on the 22nd of March, I finally had my surgery. I was okay afterwards. I was on pureed foods for a few weeks, and then mushed up foods, and then yeah, I sort of haven't, I eat proper food, but you can't eat a lot. You can't eat a lot. If I go out for a meal, I will order a meal for the under fives off the menu, and I can eat between half and 3/4, depending on how much I've eaten the rest of the day. So I can't eat loads, but I eat little and often, which is why I like my protein yogurts, because they're high in protein, and I can have one of those, and that will fill me up for a good few hours. I have, I quite often have cold meats and things like that. I will do what I eat in a day at some point, but I'm still sort of, I've got some other issues with my tummy at the moment. I've got a hernia, so I've got to go and have another surgery where they put that right, and then they have got to do something else with my bypass to redirect the stomach acid away from my stomach. So I'm not going to do what I eat in a day, because it's not what I will be eating in a day. There are certain things that I just can't eat at the moment because it sets off really bad acid indigestion. So I'll do that once I've had that surgery. I don't know when that's going to be. Apparently that's in the next couple of months. So I'll have to go back in, and I'll be in, I think it's overnight, possibly 2 nights, he said. And I've got to have the hernia fixed and the revision to my bypass. So yeah, I don't know if I'll be back on a liquid diet after that. I don't know what's going to happen after that, because obviously they're fiddling around with it. Yeah, obviously. Right, let's do some more skincare. This is my Miracle Eye Cream. Love this one. Yeah, so yeah, just a case of that really. Finally getting that sorted, and then I'll probably know a bit more about what I can and can't eat, because I am restricted at the moment, because quite a lot of things that I would normally want to eat will set off my indigestion. So yeah, it's very bland stuff I have to eat at the moment. But yeah, as for like the medication and that I take, when you have a gastric bypass, you have to take vitamins for life. So I've been lucky. I am 18 months post-surgery and I still haven't needed to have B12 injections. I've still managed to keep it up. Now I started this before my surgery. I take a vitamin B12 supplement. I wasn't prescribed it. They don't tell you to take it. I just did it off my own back because I figured it couldn't hurt, and it stopped me from having to have the B12 injections so far. It is coming down. I will end up with them eventually, but I am trying to postpone it so that I don't have to. I also take the Synatogen A to Z vitamin. I take calcium and vitamin D. I have to take those every day. I take a collagen supplement. I take a magnesium supplement, which I'm told is really good for fibro. I don't know yet. I've only been on it about 3 weeks. So hold this space. We'll see. I also take a biotin for my hair. But as for actual medication, I take duloxetine, which is an antidepressant but is really good for fibro. And I found that really works. I've been on that about 4 years. So yeah, I really like that one. For two and a half years, I think. 2.5 years for that one. Baclofen I've been on for about 18 months. That's really good. That's really helped. That's a muscle relaxant, I believe. I'm not a doctor. Don't quote me on any of this. This is just what I think. Then I take paracetamol for pain and Nifopam. It's a new one. I've only been given it like 2 weeks ago because my arms are really bad at the moment. This one in particular is really sore, especially when I'm like lying down at night. It just throbs and aches, and I don't know why. They don't know why, but it's just really, really sore. So they've put me on that to try and counteract that. And then I also take indapamide because I have high blood pressure. Shocker. And I take metformin because I'm also diabetic, though that is improving, and they think that I might be able to come off that in the next few months. So, you know, watch this space. I might actually be in remission with my diabetes. But yeah, I mean, since the surgery, I've lost, I'm down to 86 kilos now. So I've lost 60 kilos, which is just shy, I think, of 10 stone, something like that. That I've lost, and I thought that I would be able to get around easier and that, but yeah, it hasn't really happened. I still need help with, like, I still can't walk very far. I still struggle. I'm still in pain. My back still hurts. You know, it wasn't the cure-all I was hoping, but in other ways, I'm a lot better, you know. I'm happier in myself. Yeah, I'm happier in myself. I'm able to, I don't know. I cope. Yeah, like Paul says, I cope. Because of the pain, and I can't take a lot for it, I have to listen to my body or I end up in a right state. And that's no fun for anyone. I have to stop when I start thinking, oh, hang on, you know, this is starting to nag, I have to stop. Because if I don't, then I end up in dire straits. And one of the things that I get with the fibro is when I get a real fibro flare, I can't stay awake for very long, and I will sleep a lot, and I'll try and stay awake, but I just can't. I just fall asleep all the time. I mean, it's weird because most of the time I struggle to sleep until I have a fibro flare, then I can't wake up. There's no happy medium. I'm either wide awake or fast asleep all the time, you know, one or the other. But yeah, that's just the nature of the beast. I have been diagnosed with chronic fatigue syndrome as well, but I personally don't think it's that. I think it's a fibro flare that causes that. Like I say, my arms and my neck are bad at the moment. My legs aren't great, and one of my legs, I can walk a few seconds and then I'm dragging it behind me. It just doesn't seem to want to work properly, and I get pain in my back when I'm doing that. After a few steps, it starts to nag in my back because I have to sort of, I don't know how to describe it, but I sort of drag it behind me. You know, sort of have to fling it round almost, and it causes quite a bit of pain. But I just, yeah, I listen to my body, and I stop when my body says don't do it. I don't do it, basically. That's all you can do. I try and push just a little bit, but then, you know, I don't. If my body's really like, no, don't do this, I don't do it. So anyway, this is my favourite miracle cream. I use this as my day cream at the moment. I do have the night cream. I'll be honest, I'm not a fan, and I won't be buying it again. I'm sort of using it up, but I don't use it on my face. I use it on my elbows where I've got really dry skin, because it's just too heavy. It's too heavy for my skin during, like, my face. Because while I don't have like oily skin, it's, if you have really dry skin, get the night cream. It's brilliant for that. It's like a balm almost. It's really thick. I've never used a moisturizer that thick. But my skin is, I'm not oily, but I'm not dry either. You know, I'm sort of normal. So it's too heavy for my skin. And I was just finding it was leaving my skin just like an oil slick. It's just too much. So yeah, I had to stop using it. The night cream I'm using at the moment, you won't be able to see it because it comes in this little pot, but it's by the brand Pry. It's that one, the Platinum Lift, Firm and Lift cream. This is really nice. I've had this a while. This is one that I've had that I need to use up, so I've got this out and started using this as my night cream. Comes in this pretty packaging. They quite often do their moisturisers in like this limited edition packaging, and they're come in really pretty pots that you can sort of put on your, on display on your, like your vanity. So that's where it's been, but it needs using. I've had it a while, so yeah, I need to use it up. Last but not least is, this is my Beauty Bay SPF 50. Always use that. Or I always use an SPF 50. I use quite a bit. You have to. It's 1.25 mils for your face. That's what you got to use to have enough. And as you know, I've got hyperpigmentation and I don't want it. So I slather in this so that I don't make it any worse than it already is. And that just melts in nicely, and then in a bit I will do my makeup. But yeah, anyway, yeah, that was just a bit about my fibro and my surgery and all that. Like I say, I won't do what I eat in a day because I've still got to have another surgery. So once that's done and it's all settled down, then I'll think about doing it a bit more then. Yeah, if you've got any other questions, put them in the comments and I will try and do another video talking about it. But other than that, that's it from me. I do so hope you liked the video. If you did, I'd love it if you give me a thumbs up. Subscribe down below for more videos to come. And hopefully I'll see you in my next one. Bye for now.